Hi, this is Steve at my workshop in Bellevue. Today we're doing assignment 2-7 in the Shops with Mark 47520 self-study course. And this is on the Tenon. And in your 1-3 lesson, you did a tongue and groove joint like this, which is going down the length with the grain like that. So on when we do a tenon, we're doing essentially a tongue in the end of a piece of wood, like this right here, and then it will fit into groove like that. So that's when you're putting a piece crosswise into one that's going lengthwise. So that's what we're going to do today. And do the setup on this is pretty easy. Your setup on this, you can actually use this piece that you did back from 1-3 to do your setup. To just, you can get your height and your distance from the blade right from here. Now, when you do your setup, if you really want to get a tight joint, when you set this up, set the blade a little bit lower than it ought to be, and then creep up on it. And I'm going to show you here in a minute how I do that. But first, I'm going to go ahead and cut this so you can see how we cut it. I've got this already set for the perfect height and the perfect distance from the fence so that we will get this nice tight joint that you just saw me doing right here. It goes in right, you can see here in the end here, it's nice and tight. So we're doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and then I'm going to talk about how I got it that precise. And just a reminder, make sure you've done your 7-step safety check. I've already done mine. And we'll go ahead and do this. Of course, we're doing it in the opposite end of the end where you did your when you did your end rabbet. And so, because essentially a tongue is just 2 end rabbets, is all it is. That fits in there nice and tight. So, to dial that in, you ought to get your height of the table just perfect. And I showed you in the last assignment how we use these stop collars around here. You can use the stop collar here to dial in your by doing different depth blocks. Well, last time I showed you a 32nd inch depth block, which is the smallest they come in. So what do you do when you want to fine tune it even closer than that? Well, there's 2 options you can use on that. And one is you can use a simple deck of playing cards. This happens to be a Hoyle plastic coated playing cards. And these cards, every card is the same thickness. The other option you could use is, this is some inkjet printing paper. I've got 8 sheets here, And of course, each sheet of that is the same thickness. So if you look up here on the board here, I'm going to show you how we use those. So I measured with my calipers. I took 3 playing cards, measured exactly with my calipers, 1/32 of an inch. 8 sheets of the printing paper also measured exactly 1/32 of an inch. So that means that one playing card, the thickness of one playing card is actually less than 1/32 of a 64th of an inch. It's 2/3 of a 64th of an inch. So it's less than a 64th of an inch. 4 sheets of the paper then are going to be a 64th of an inch. 2 sheets of the paper will be 128th of an inch. And 1 sheet of paper will be 256th of an inch. And 256th of an inch is about 0.04 inches. Okay, so you can really fine tune it using those for things less than. So that's what I used on the stop collar to fine tune that on doing the tenon. All right, so that's the end of this assignment. We'll see you on the next one.